Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today is Monday, and it's the time for our new episode. And maybe it's time for a little reflection. This weekend, yesterday in Istanbul, I wrote another blog, and that blog is dedicated to 2000 review, my 2000 year in review. And the subtitle of my blog is Failing, Stumbling, and Yet Better Than Ever. In my humble opinion, I think the blog came out pretty good. And the purpose of the blog was to look at someone else's life, someone else's goals, and how I stumbled through some of my goals, how I failed a lot of them, how I tried many of them, how things that I thought would happen happened actually in real life. It's just a quick sneak peek into someone else's universe or life, and also it will help you to look at your goals with more perspective, at your life with more perspective, to add more meaning into your life. And hopefully also it will inspire it will inspire you to do the same, to do a review of your year or maybe several years of your life and just answer that question for yourself. Like, where are you in your life? Where are you going? Are you happy with your life? So that all reflection on your past, on some period of your past, will help you to do. So the beginning of the blog. This morning I was debating with myself. Should I reflect on 2019 of my life or write fat loss in 2020, fasting and a plate diet? The former felt important, the latter easy and more clickable. You know what I chose. The unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates. What kind of life is worth or not worth living? I leave that question to someone else, someone smarter. But examined life is definitely more meaningful. What we do daily means very little unless we know that what we do today contributes in some way to a bigger picture of our life. And we can't see that bigger picture unless we stop, take time to think and reflect on our past. A year mark is a good place to do the reflection. It doesn't have to be on January 1st or 2nd or Monday. Do it when it feels the most right to you. Like today, on a beautiful Sunday morning in Istanbul. Even though it's still dark when I'm writing this, I'm an optimist. I believe in sunny mornings. Looking at all of my goal list, I had many through 2019, it didn't quite work out as I planned. I didn't change the world, I didn't transform the whole food system, and I didn't even, and the rest you can read on my blog, Create Yourself That Today. It's right on the first page. So Create Yourself That Today, my 2019 in review, failing, stumbling, and better than ever. Enjoy it, guys. But that's of course not all for today. Today is Monday, and each Monday we will be talking about some coaching concept, like how to coach yourself to walk yourself through some change in your life, change of behavior that lasts, that stays for you, if not forever, then for a long time, enough time to produce a meaningful change. So today we are talking about healthy eating. You can apply it to any healthy habit in general, this principle that we are talking about today. But as an example, we are taking healthy eating. So how do you start eating healthy and maintain it, not for a week till you're super enthusiastic about your 2020 resolutions and till you need to get over this heavy feeling of all the holiday eating, not how to sustain that habit, again, if not for life, then for a very long and meaningful chunk of time. And yesterday I was chatting with one of my clients in Sweden, and Thomas, and we were talking about our call and whether we should do it or not, and how's he feeling about the whole progress thing. And also we started chatting about his meals on this day. And he shared with me his meal, some moose meat, some carrots, some potato soup. And he said that he ate it and then he froze it for another 4 or 5 days. And that really melted my heart, because I always teach my clients and always try to show with my personal example that planning is the thing that will ensure the success of almost any of your habits that you want to do. Like, no matter how difficult the habit might seem, if you plan it, you can do it. And 99% of the time, you will do it. And by planning, I mean like pre-cooking your food and freezing it if you know that during the week you don't have time to cook. But it also means, for example, today I'm flying back to Moscow, and I'm not a fan of airplane food. Sometimes there are good options, but they never make me feel full. On Monday, I decided to fast every Monday this year. But because I might get hungry, like when you travel, there are stressful times, but also there is possibility of delay, or you just never know where you're gonna get to the food and how you're gonna feel. And so many things can change, right, when you travel, because it's, still quite unpredictable. So for some emergencies, I have hazelnuts, I have sunflower seeds, I have pumpkin seeds with me in my carry-on. So when everybody else on the plane is having their lunch, I'm not tempted. And if I am tempted and I feel super hungry, then I have my nuts with me, and that solves all the problems. Then I wouldn't be tempted to eat, I don't know, pasta or cookies or whatever they have on the plane. That, the thought of eating all of that crosses my mind, believe me. But because I'm always prepared, I never get to it. Or for example, another thing from my personal life, chicken liver has a lot of B vitamins, has vitamin A, has iron, but it's best to consume in small amounts, like an ounce a day, or somewhere around an ounce, maybe ounce and a half, maybe a couple of ounces, but that's it. And it can't be, the main source of my calories. And I don't feel like cooking liver every day. So because I know all of these inconveniences, and I know that it's best to consume a little bit every day, so I just cook a lot once a week, and then I put some in the fridge for 2-3 days, and I freeze the rest so it lasts the whole week. And when I need a piece, I take the piece out and just warm it up while cooking the rest of my food. And that's how I eat a little bit of liver every single day. Or maybe you make a liver pate, and you put some in the fridge, you freeze some, and that's how you're gonna eat your liver, maybe on a celery stick or on a bell pepper stick for more vitamin C. Another thing, how many meals you're gonna have. Just decide that upfront. Don't rely on your hunger. Your hunger is a very tricky thing. Sometimes you're hungry right now, and then in 20 minutes you're no longer hungry, even though you haven't eaten anything. Hunger comes and goes, and if you have a weight loss, fat loss especially, as a goal for right now, and you need to maintain your efforts for a while, then you need to be okay with being a little bit hungry. You need to know how to manage it, like drinking water when you're hungry, or drinking mint tea while you're hungry, or going for a walk. Or if you know that you need to have something, then exactly what it's going to be, and have it in your fridge or with you in your purse or in your backpack. Planning. So decide to have 3 meals, then have those 3 meals, and decide exactly what you're going to have for those meals. Exactly. The amount should be exact. Body, fat loss, weight loss, it likes math. It's not an exact science. You can't really make it exact to the calorie, because also your metabolism changes because of a lot of things. But making a plan, and the exact plan, and then following that plan, and then looking at the results and adjusting your plan, that will lead you to a place where you want to go, be that weight loss, fat loss, health, fitness, whatever that might be. So make a plan. Are you going to have eggs for breakfast? How many eggs? How are you going to make them? Are you going to have fish for lunch and veggies? Then what kind of veggies? Are they starchy? Are they non-starchy? It does make a difference. Do you add fat or you don't add fat? How much fish exactly? Like what the serving size of your fish looks like. Exactly. For dinner, when is your dinner? What you're going to have at home? What you're going to have if you are out? The exact portions. To give you an example, I'm going to Moscow today, and tomorrow I already planned my food. I know the store where I'm going to get my food, and I know there are options. And so I'm going to be getting baby carrots that require no cooking. I'm going to be in a hotel room where I don't have facility to cook anything. So I'm going to get bell pepper. I'm going to get white or brown button mushrooms that you can eat raw. I'm going to get an avocado. I'm going to get a can of sardines, a couple of cans of tuna. I'm going to get mussels canned that you also don't need to cook. And I'm going to get some flax seeds, and I'm going to eat half of the pack, because they come in 100 grams packs. And for my plan, I need 50 grams of that. And then I'm going to have a small handful of sunflower seeds, of pumpkin seeds, and of hazelnuts, and that will complete my meal. I know exactly what I'm going to eat. So when I'm at the store, I'm not tempted. I'm actually trying to get in and get out as fast as possible, because I don't like to waste time. I have my work, I have my clients, I have other things I'd like to be doing, instead of standing there at the store thinking about my food and probably not making the best choices while hungry or while rushing somewhere. So I know exactly what I'm gonna get, where I'm gonna get it, when I'm gonna eat it, how much of it I'm gonna eat it. And that's why when I'm confronted with any choice, I don't hesitate. I don't waste energy on that. And guys, you wouldn't believe how much better choices, how much little temptation you're gonna have when you make your choices in advance. Coffee, always black. Sugar, no added sugars. Dessert, skip the dessert unless it's your birthday or it's New Year. What else? Vegetables, always non-starchy. If I'm in a restaurant, if I'm in a cafe, I'm gonna have either eggs with veggies, and veggies always non-starchy, salmon with veggies, or mussels with veggies, or steak with veggies. And veggies, I'm gonna have them grilled or steamed if I'm not sure of the sauce and of the oil they use. If they use olive oil or coconut oil, then I'm gonna have my vegetables sauteed in that oil, and I don't just gobble up all the oil, I leave it on the plate. And again, vegetables, always non-starchy. So those are some of my choices. Dairy, milk, no dairy for me in most cases, unless, I don't know, I'm in Parma and exploring Parmigiano Reggiano and only cheese, right? So I made all these choices in advance because I know that these choices long-term will make me feel the best, and they are in line, they are aligned with my goals. I pre-made them and I'm sticking by them unless I decide that this is good to rethink those decisions based on the outcomes or my new goals. So this whole episode was dedicated to planning ahead, and that's how you're gonna stick to almost any habit in your life. Plan ahead. A lot of people ask me, like, how are you always so disciplined around food or around things? Like, how do you wake up every morning at 4 or 5? Or how do you plan so well in advance, and always find a place to work out? And guys, I think in advance. I plan. That's why we are given this prefrontal cortex that can do that. Like, animals cannot do that. We can. So use it. And if you don't use it, you're like monkey with a phone. Monkey cannot think ahead, but it can certainly use the phone, probably, if you give it a few times and show some games. I don't know. So planning ahead, I'm in Turkey, I'm in Istanbul. I looked up the area where there are gyms, where there are food shops, where I don't have to travel across the city or take any public transportation. I looked up those places in advance. And so when I got into the place, there was a gym because I already looked it up. Like, surprise. Of course, it wasn't a surprise for me that I could find it because I looked it up in advance. Or why am I so disciplined around food? I'm not disciplined. I just made a decision a long time ago. And so when I'm in a place, there is no reason to change that decision. And so I don't. How do I wake up every morning? Well, I go to bed earlier, and that's where planning starts. So if I plan to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to take an early flight, then I'm going to go to bed at 8 p.m. And people ask me, like, how do you, fall asleep at 8 p.m.? Well, if you fall asleep every night at 8 or 9 p.m., you're gonna fall asleep because your body gets used to a routine. Again, it's not complicated, and it has nothing to do with discipline. There is discipline, to put yourself to bed, but most of it is planning and just realizing that I have these goals, that I feel my best when I wake up at 4 or 5, that my whole day goes so much better when I make certain choices. And so it's not discipline. It's just reflecting on my past. By the way, read my blog so you too start reflecting on your past. So it's reflecting on my past, learning what worked for me the best for the life that I love living, and applying it in the future. And if something doesn't work, then I change then I make a new decision and try something else until it works, and then I keep it. And I always going between looking back, learning from my past, and looking into the future and designing it. And that's why a lot of things work easy in my life. I'm still not perfect, still have a lot of areas of my life where, I'm not that good, but when it comes to lifestyle, nutrition, fitness, I figured it out for myself, and that's why I'm helping out my clients to figure it out too. By the way, I also can help you. So sign up for our coaching. I have 3 months program, and to start, we usually continue coaching for about 6 months. That's an average. So 3 months, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You learn how to build those habits in your life, not in my life, because what works for me probably not going to work for you, but in your life. Like, I'll teach you about all of these things and how make things that you want to work for you, not just think about it in theory. That never changes anything, really. So anyhow, to sum up this episode, read my blog on self-reflection, on reflection of your year. Do your reflection so you build a better life in 2020 and onwards. A better meaning something that you like more. Plan ahead, no matter what kind of eating, nutrition, fitness habit, lifestyle habit, getting more sleep, no matter what kind of habit you'd like to start and continue the whole year to get the results for life. No matter what that habit is, start planning and you'll be surprised how much easier it's going to get. So it's that easy. And then if you want me to make sure that you do change something in your life and you're consistent and you do something smart, something that brings results without you having to do all the research and stumbling through stuff, like if you want my shortcuts, my two-decade experience, if you want my help, if you want motivation, accountability, all of that, then also email me, reach out on any social media, and we'll get on it. And that's it for today. Have an amazing Monday. Have an awesome week. Thank you for tuning in this morning. I'm gonna fly to Moscow, and you, till next time, as usual, eat better daily.